Jake Turner, a 29-year-old outdoor enthusiast and weekend hiker from Charlotte, North Carolina, never expected his quiet getaway into the Appalachian wilderness to become a nationwide news story. An experienced camper who frequently documented his hikes on social media, Jake headed out early that Saturday morning, hoping to disconnect from the world, breathe in some crisp mountain air, and maybe catch a few scenic snapshots. He packed light, brought his camera, and chose a rarely trafficked trail deep in a national forest known more for its waterfalls than for drama. A few hours into his hike, Jake was feeling recharged and peaceful until he spotted something strange blocking the trail ahead. From a distance, it looked like a fallen tree, long and oddly curved, basking in a patch of sunlight that had pierced the canopy above. As he moved closer, he slowed, confusion mounting. The texture was wrong. The color shimmered unnaturally. Then, with a jolt of disbelief, he realized what he was looking at. Not wood, but scales. It was a snake, a massive one. Coiled slightly and motionless across the trail was the bloated body of what Jake would later learn was a Burmese python, an invasive species native to Southeast Asia and not at all meant to be in the cool, shaded forest of the American South. This particular specimen was over 15 feet long. Its body was thick, its scales dark with iridescent green and bronze hues, and its entire midsection was grotesquely distended, forming a huge bulge that looked as if someone had stuffed a sleeping bag inside it. Jake's first instinct was fear. He stood frozen for a full minute, eyes scanning the still forest, listening. But there was no movement, no sign of life from the creature. Carefully, he edged closer, snapping a few photos with his phone. The snake wasn't breathing. Its eyes were glazed. The slight stench in the air confirmed it. The python was dead. What made Jake's stomach churn, though, was that bulge in its middle. It didn't look like a natural meal. It looked manufactured, too large and oddly shaped. Grim curiosity got the better of him. Using a long fallen branch, Jake nudged the python's midsection. The skin, tight and glistening, barely gave under the pressure. But something inside shifted. As he pressed again, a limb-like shape rolled beneath the surface. He felt his skin crawl. He immediately stepped back, pulled out his GPS device, and marked his coordinates. Then he hiked back toward higher ground in search of a signal. Hours later, when he finally reached a ridge with enough reception, he contacted the local wildlife department and uploaded the location, along with a few of his most shocking photos. Wildlife officials responded quickly. By the following morning, a team of rangers and a wildlife biologist named Dr. Lena Ramirez met Jake at the trailhead. They hiked together back to the scene. Dr. Ramirez was stunned, not only by the sheer size of the snake, but by the fact that it was a Burmese python, a species already wreaking havoc in Florida's Everglades, but not known to be present this far north. With gloved hands and field equipment, the team opened the python's abdomen in a controlled procedure. Inside, they found the partially decomposed remains of a young deer. No more than a year old, fur still visible, small hooves twisted within the partially digested mess. It was clear the python had attempted to consume the deer whole, vastly underestimating its capacity. The animal had likely suffered a rupture or died from internal injuries shortly after swallowing the deer. Dr. Ramirez explained that while pythons have an incredible ability to dislocate their jaws and consume large prey, there are limits, and in this case, nature fought back. Photos and details of the incident quickly went viral after Jake posted a few of the shots with a chilling caption. "Found a dead python in the woods. You won't believe what was inside." Within hours, the post had been shared thousands of times. News outlets reached out. Experts joined the online conversation, warning of the ecological dangers posed by exotic pets released or escaped into the wild. It was later confirmed through a microchip scan that the snake had once been registered in Florida, likely sold through an exotic pet dealer, and somehow transported hundreds of miles before ending up in this quiet North Carolina forest. Jake, who had only wanted a quiet retreat, found himself at the center of a national conversation. Local news interviewed him, conservationists praised him for reporting the find, and Dr. Ramirez invited him to volunteer with a regional effort to track non-native species. Jake accepted. He began spending more weekends not just hiking, but helping monitor areas at risk of ecological imbalance due to human interference. Since then, Jake's hikes have taken on new meaning. Every rustle in the underbrush now brings a heightened awareness. He carries more than a camera. He carries responsibility. He's become an unlikely advocate for wildlife education, frequently speaking at schools and outdoor forums about the risks of exotic pet ownership, the fragility of ecosystems, and the delicate balance between predator and prey. The dead python, bloated with a meal it couldn't handle, became a symbol, a warning, a reminder that nature, while vast and wild, is also vulnerable. And when humans insert themselves carelessly into its processes, the results can be as disturbing as they are tragic.